per bar. Yeah, you guys are making me jealous. Mine are safe at a different location.
He's got the Midas touch, but he touched it too much.
You're being tricked out of ownership of the vehicles. You're being tricked out of putting them in a name, the all caps name, which is the birth certificate, which the state owns. So even if you think you own something and you put it in that name, you're telling the state, oh, I'm a proud owner of a car. The reality is the state is the proud owner of the car. HISAdvocates doesn't teach that. We don't teach sovereign citizenship mentalities.
How's that old saying go again? Well, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and preaches the soft sit script like a duck.
The state took your live born record and had the mom relinquish the child because signature in law means one who can attest to the validity of the instrument.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Your name. The con man goes by many names, friend.
Welcome to Project Nihilist. Are you sick and tired of your money earning interest, paying for your teenage children's insurance? Do you hate paying child support and think genetically modified food feminizes men? Do you love Donald Trump and think civilization is going to collapse any second now?
How about that?
Do you think you live inside the Matrix? If so, this deadbeat father is your guy and he has all the answers and he wants you to buy his gold. Let's pray.
So we pray, Lord, a special prayer that we can see these kids in freedom. And we ask that you show us how we can intervene financially, physically, and prayerfully. Lord, I just put a covering over every kid who has been abducted. And Lady Gaga, or I should say Guy Gaga.
Lady Gaga went to an all-girls Catholic school, and there's no evidence that she's ever struggled with gender identity. You know, but be a bigot anyway. Show us your Christian love.
I, Lord, want to see their release and see their safety and see their minds get rebuilt. Lord, come quickly. Come quickly, Lord. Help the militia in Mexico.
What a peculiar place to have a party.
This video should be fun. Kelby's lack of self-awareness, critical thinking skills, hypocrisy, bigotry, bullshitting blows my mind. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now let's start down this rabbit hole where Kelby tells us that we should liquidate our retirement, annuities, CDs, all of our bank accounts, and buy his gold as if when the world goes to shit, people are going to be trading gold for food or something.
There's a major event coming up. I have a feeling they're going to put Trump in office. Just my 2 cents. I'm going to lay it out for you. Do a little predicting. I thought there's no way Trump's going to get in the office. And then I had this serious shift in my thinking.
We're already off to a weird start. Like, we know this dude roots for Trump, but when you're peddling precious metals, everything's atop a white horse and hell's following it.
He probably is. And they're going to do everything they can to make him a party to and reason for and or crash completely the economy. Now,
the Olympics need to give Kelby his gold medal for mental gymnastics. He's already making excuses for his dear leader who can do no wrong. I mean, he's literally making future excuses, for Christ's sake.
And I don't think it's going to be a good crash for America or the United States. I think we're going to be facing elements that we've never faced before as a people.
Since the stock market crash of 1929, we've taken all kind of measures to prevent that shit from happening again. But this guy, he's like, it's totally going to happen because Jesus is going to come back.
And more so than ever, I know you guys have been hearing about gold and silver. I know you guys have been thinking about ways of asset protection.
I just have one question for you. What happened to the latinum?
I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a financial advisor, but I was one for a lot of years, a long time ago. I'm also a broker by trade, but I've been telling my tens of thousands of members that you have to consider what's coming. And what is coming is a truck with a train behind it, and it's nothing like this country has ever experienced before.
That's a lot of latinum. No wonder your hair fell out.
There's a complete and total global reset that is about to hit.
Recently, I found out that Roseann and her idiot kid have a YouTube channel and think that the end is nigh and you got to buy your gold from them because us Dems have a plan and it's called anarchy. And I was like, oh shit, they're on to us.
But you can also do an IRA kit. If you have an IRA, you can do a rollover. You can move some of your retirement into gold and silver, because I promise you Democrats are not going to go easy. They've seen what's happened in the last week or two, and they're going to start doing some really scary, nasty shit. They're not going to give up their power, and you want medicine and you want currency that they can't control, and gold and silver is the best way to do that.
Are you freaking kidding me? I said, I need a full release right now.
You can also buy controlled substances from these assholes like ivermectin and I shit you not, antibiotics. He's like, buy your Z-Packs. Because I make these videos on my phone, I can't just push the space bar and start laughing at them for the stupid shit they say.
And I really want you to grab onto the elements of what we need to be taking into consideration. And we're trying as his advocates to save you guys as much money as possible.
When Kelby talks about being his advocates, he's talking about working for God, and you should just like give him all your money and he'll give you some shit and you'll be super happy.
And I think we did it with these guys. They brought forth at cost metals, which is at cost metals. The ability to purchase at whatever the par value is. Now understand, and I'm going to let them explain the website, the opportunity.
They don't get to talk in my video. All they're going to do is hold up their lead bar and smile like they found a cookie in their pocket.
And the ability for you, some of you guys are just going to get in, get your membership going and start buying.
The 18-month membership's like $500, but they'll give you $200 worth of free silver. I mean, what the fuck? I found this scammer online trying to sell these $200 silver bars of Donald Trump for $400, and it's only 1 ounce, the size of a quarter, and it's not worth anything. It's worth like $40. It's $40 of silver, and in the description, it says it could be off by as much as a gram.
But these two guys, Mike and Ricardo, are going to be explaining the entire program. But never before, guys, listen to me. You have retirements. You have annuities. You have bank accounts. Say goodbye.
The old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money.
That's a scary thought, right? The banks go under, there's rioting in the streets, you're alone, cold, and in the dark, and you don't have running water to flush the toilet, and you're asking yourself, why, Lord, why? No worries, Kelby's put a lot of thought into it, and this is why it's going to happen.
What happens is in every culture that's about to collapse, or every country, let me say it that way, country that is about to collapse, this is the final induction into that society to help people to not realize who they are as a human being, weakening the softening of men, taking away their desire to fight, making them gay, homosexual, soft, placating, no manly men anywhere, placating to every element of a woman's needs, desires, this, that, and the other. Listen to me. You have retirements, you have annuities, you have bank accounts. Say goodbye. They're either going to hair clip them at 50%, 20%, 80%, doesn't matter what the hair clip is. You're going to take a hair clip and they're going to say, by the way.
So the used to be but not a financier anymore is right. If you close out your retirement accounts early, you'll suffer penalties. You'll take a huge hit. What's worse is if you invested in precious metals or gemstones on the hope that civilization collapse and you think you'll be rich, you can't eat it and it can easily be taken away from you.
Protection against theft, of tyranny, of these countries masquerading, companies, really bankrupted companies, masquerading as countries. The United States, we know, as a corporation. It was bankrupted in 1933, and it made the people the surety and the collateral. And guess what?
Derpty derpity derpy derp.
Your retirement, your income, your bank accounts are tied to that bankruptcy.
These brothers, I didn't say it, somebody in the video does, they're just out there networking. We can sign up, and for a membership fee, they'll go around and find us the best prices possible because we aren't collectors. We're here to buy in bulk, right? So they're going to go around, get us the best prices possible, and fine, I'm all about capitalism. But what I can't stand is fear-mongering and trying to trick idiots out of their life savings.
Blows my mind that I can go buy 100-ounce bar of silver and not pay what I used to, $300 for that bar right there.
$300 to $500 is about $3,000 less than anyone else can buy that bar, and now you're saying you can get it even cheaper?
$300 to $500 for that bar right there in premium per bar. Yeah, you guys are making me jealous. Mine are safe at a different location.
That's a keeper. Yes. Put it in the skin box, please.
That's right. Mine are in the war room disguised as 3 seashells, and every time Alex Jones visits, he asks,
How's that damn 3 seashells thing work?
There's nothing good about relationship issues. I ask that there is a peace beyond all things. And, you know, for me, I think there was a moment in which I went down to clear up an issue at the county in 2002 or 3, where I know I had paid all my child support growing up with my oldest to her mom, and why I had to pay it to her in the beginning when she lived with me 13 or 14 out of the 18 years. I have no idea why.
Was y'all not married? Was she getting help from the government? It's unusual you'd have to pay her for the time y'all was living together. Dude's story just isn't adding up. How are you caught up on your child support payments if the court hadn't ordered it yet? I will let him explain it.
I never got paid a dime of child support from her when she lived with me.
This entitled prick thinks she should have had to pay him for the pleasure of his company. After all, real men don't take care of their children or significant others. It's no wonder she didn't stick around for his bullshit. Like, he wants an attaboy every time he does something he's supposed to do. I'm telling you, this guy's lost his mind. Stay tuned to the end because he says Christian Bale chose his pseudonym because it has like the word Christian in it or something, and it's offensive or a conspiracy. I don't know.
But nevertheless, she went down to collect on unemployment or whatever help from the county, and the county came after me, and I'm like, I'm paying her.
But my heart said go ahead and make a bid on that.
You know, and I went down to the county and they pulled out this form and they said, okay, sign right here. And I looked at the top of the form, Karmel, and I got freaking lit. I remember this, and I'm a believer, and I'm trying to be a good guy and not beat up this, you know, guy for tricking me.
Bring out the gimp.
Oh, yeah. The judge is super lucky you didn't beat the shit out of him because that's how a good Christian deals with his problems down here in reality. You know, you gotta be a man when a woman makes Kelby look like her bitch.
Yeah. What do you want? It's really early.
But this contract was a stipulated judgment, and anybody that knows the law understands that a stipulated judgment is you're stipulating to a judgment.
It's my understanding a stipulated judgment is an agreement between two parties. Even if he chooses not to participate, the courts have some ability to try to make him pay for his own child. And yeah, do your thing, buddy. Pray for the children while you don't seem to give two shits about your own.
And Lord, come quickly. Come quickly, Lord. I literally looked at this dude and I said, are you freaking kidding me? I said, I need a full release right now.
I know. I lied to my high school girlfriends too and told them you gave me blue balls and that I needed a full release right now. A full release. I want the release. I'm going to sign the release.
I'm not signing a stipulated judgment. That means I'm guilty and I am not. And here's the letter releasing me because she admits to being paid by me.
Wow, Kelby, you really are a dum-dum. First, it's not a criminal issue, but if it was, you'd be guilty. The child is yours and needs your help. Second, why wouldn't you have told the court you paid her before a judgment was rendered? Third, when a parent gets on welfare, it's the state that comes after your deadbeat ass, and you would be paying them. Fourth, the court isn't going to accept a letter you could easily coerce out of a desperate woman. Come the fuck on, dude.
I need the release now.
Come on, baby. I need this full release. And I promise I'll do you too. But first, I need you to tell the courts that I paid you when I left all that money on your nightstand.
They did it, gave me a full letter of release, and most guys would have signed a stipulated judgment and would have been liable.
Ah, you gullible suckers don't have to pay for your children. You can get her to sign a letter you wrote up. And the best part about Kelby's fantasy island is that it's built on a hill of sand, and he thinks Karmel's buying this bullshit.
And most guys would have signed a stipulated judgment and would have been liable to the state for the balance due. And I was pissed, and I started thinking, it's only because I went through a very hard time.
Skip.
Honestly, wouldn't bother me at all. Wouldn't bother me at all. Because
for the record, Chappelle, his I don't even remember the name of where he plays the old black guy on the porch that's blind.
Why does Karmel shake his head in agreement with everything Kelby says? Like, why not push back a little bit? I don't know why they're talking about Clayton Bigsby, a black character who's blind, who's a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Personally, I'm a fan of Tyrone Biggums, and if you've seen my last video, you know what I think about that Joe Rogan.
Hurry up, girl, I want to do my turn. Grab that penis, suck them juices off. Suck it. That's it. Oh!
Yeah, and he joins the KKK.
Yeah, he joined. He's the black guy that joined the KKK.
This is where it gets complicated.
He hates black people, and everybody around him's all, shh, he doesn't know.
One of the greatest sketches ever.
One of the greatest sketches ever.
Sir, my message is simple. Niggers, Jews, homosexuals, Mexicans, Arabs, and all kinds of different chanks stink, and I hate it.
Lenders are recording deeds. You're being tricked out of ownership of the vehicles. You're being tricked out of putting them in a name, the all caps name, which is the birth certificate, which, by the way, I haven't had a ticket in 30 years, which the state owns. So even if you think you own something and you put it in that name, you're telling the state, oh, I'm a proud owner of a car. Here you go, officer. License, registration, proof of insurance. They write me a ticket. The reality is the state is the proud owner of the car. HISAdvocates doesn't teach that. We don't teach sovereign citizenship mentalities. They write me a ticket. I call 1-800-TICKETS. I've had one ticket in 30 years. I don't even remember when it was.
I'm tired of this mother.
I call 1-800-TICKETS, get the attorney $99, $199, whatever it is, to go to court and beat the ticket. It's that simple.
Remember 30 years ago when 1-800-TICKETS used to be a thing, and I just called it, and guess what? They don't fix traffic infractions anymore, but there are websites out there. And let's be honest, no lawyer's going to help me out for $99 or $199. It's going to be thousands of dollars to make that shit go away. It'd just be easier to pay for your shit up front.
Oh, yeah! Look at you! You was popping all that good shit a second ago!
MSO, it's the actual title of the vehicle, that you own the vehicle. It came straight from the manufacturer.
Yeah, so you can't buy brand new cars from the manufacturer. You have to go to a dealership. You know, they have contracts with dealerships, and you've got to pay them for the car, whether it's with money or a bank pays them, and then you got to have a registration and insurance before they let you drive it off the lot. I mean, unless you want to steal it.
So if you have the MSO on a vehicle, you can use a passport all day long, and there's really not a whole lot. Now, there could be cops out there that are going to be total buttheads and want to impound your your vehicle and you would sue the crap out of them and get your vehicle back immediately and have no jurisdiction over the vehicle. I get it.
You eat a dick!
Oh my God, sir!
I wonder about bullshitters sometimes. They imagine something and then they go around and pretend that it actually happened. And 4th of July once, I walk out on the front porch and everybody got quiet and I was like, spit it out. They told me this story about how I got in a fight with my cousin's boyfriend and I played it cool as shit. And I was like, did he tell you how I kicked his ass? I couldn't pick this guy out of a police lineup today. But yet he went around at a holiday and told my family that he beat me up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I got the motorcycle with no registration tags, insured based on the vehicle ID code, and my motorcycle license, which is an extended number of my actual driver's license.
Oh, wow. And then what? You didn't pay your personal property tax so you could get a valid registration and not have to worry about the cops pulling you over and towing your shit away. Wow.
I don't know if you know this, but you don't need to register a vehicle where you're holding the actual title, which is the MSO on the vehicle, but I do have proof of insurance and a license for you.
In case you didn't notice yet, bullshitters fascinate me. Anyone who listens to them long enough can tell that their house of cards just crumbled, but then they try to bullshit their way out of it. This soft-set guru claims that he's rescued like 5,000 people from whatever, but he doesn't practice what he preaches, but he wants you to let your children drive uneducated and uninsured.
Cop's going to go, thank you. He's going to say, hey, get that thing registered as soon as possible. Here's a worst case scenario. Here's your worst case scenario. You're respectful. Everything's cool.
This is just patently false. States have clear limitations on all this stuff, and I've seen sovtards try to use this tactic and get nailed. If you've got a license and you can afford the insurance, why wouldn't you just pay for your registration? It's not that expensive.
Cop's going to say, worst case scenario is going to write a fix-it ticket that you must register the vehicle.
Unbelievable, guys. Really, really great. Good job.
The reality is the state is the proud owner of the car. The state took your live-born record and had the mom relinquish the child because signature in law means one who can attest to the validity of the instrument.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Signatures are a thing, and for reasons. Have you never seen The Crucible?
Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me why you will not...
Because it is my name!
Parent means judicially decreed guardian, not mom. And informant means one who turns one over.
I was going to ask you why your hands were down your pants in front of all the children, but now that seems beside the point.
The legal scholar is obsessed with the definitions. Parent and guardian don't mean mommy and daddy, and they ain't cis. They ain't hetero, they're vag pounders. You know, manly men, and they care about words and what they mean.
All in that one little box where the mom signs the child away. I get what I'm signing. I'm giving my child over to the state.
Or, and follow me for a second, you're making your child an American citizen, which comes with all kind of rights and privileges, responsibility and opportunity that people gave their lives for.
And I agree to be the guardian.
Fucking guys like, you don't believe me about the definitions. You go out, check out the Black Law's definitions and tell me I'm wrong.
Either private trust, private business trust, or a private foundation, unregistered, and there's a way to do it where you can be completely private. We've been doing this, and I've done probably 5,000 of them. Proud to say, only because I've taken that much away, and I'm proud to say it. And it's not because of any other reason than what we are seeing right now with a quote-unquote retired president being charged with 80 felony counts.
I think you meant to say retarded former president who's 1 for 1 and going to lose again.
All the deception, all the fraud in voting, all the things that are going on in this nation, it's absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, we got to have another talk about Trump, by the way.
These assholes love to talk about the Pumpkin King and kiss the ring and pretend that Donald Trump's the victim. Oh, that poor son of a bitch. How dare them Dems impeach him and charge him with crimes that are evidently true, and he's found guilty by fucking juries of his peers.
You know, I'm still bothered by some things, but I honestly believe if he is true, he's our only hope outside of the return of Yeshua.
Oh, me running. Our only hope is McDonald Trump or Jesus.
Gesundheit. Thank you.
Yes, and it's funny to say that, but there's a lot of battles. Again, it's the battle behind the scenes that we don't versus the battles that we're being shown, and that's again I keep reiterating this, but it's the stuff that we get shown on TV, the news, that we think is the battle. We get hyped up about this and this, that, and the third, but like it's really the stuff going on behind the scenes, and the few of us that can look and see those things are trying to alert the masses, and that sometimes I get tired, right? Because I'm like, they're not getting it. But
yeah, truthers love to pretend they shine lights in dark corners and predict the future. They seem to make up about 50% of society, but for some reason they have zero faith in their fellow man. They've never been hungry once in their lives and say civilization is teetering on a razor's edge. It's fucking crashing any day now. These idiots are always the type of people who hated school, somehow became intellectuals, learned more than the experts. They're the definition of Dunning-Kruger. You know, top left, little knowledge and a ton of confidence.
So is Trump a part of the show?
it's hard to say because there's controlled opposition, right? If I keep showing you a villain over and over again, I make you think that that's the person.
Donald Trump is the villain, and just today he told Christians that he's not a Christian, but they need to vote and they won't have to vote again. Like, this is the fucking world we're living in. And this black guy, he don't like Donald Trump, but he's on this white guy's channel, and he's got to be like, oh yeah.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
We never had to have a license or permission from the government to get married. And there's all these people out there that they're very smart, and they're thinking, well, what is the ramification of not having a license? The answer is zero.
Zero? Are you stupid? Being married is a tax break. It gives people certain benefits and rights over each other's, you know, them and their children, their property and their businesses and shit. You stupid fucker. You don't have a clue what you're even talking about.
You can always have a contract with your spouse, and that will be sufficient. She can change her last name to your name, and you can treat her with respect as if you did have a judge or whatever over you. But here's the bottom line on marriage licenses.
It's interesting. The dude who claims to not contract with anyone and thinks a contract without a basis of consideration can be enforced in a courtroom. Seriously, dude, what are you giving in each other in exchange for something else? In his world, you'd be constantly needing new and updated contracts with your business partner who took the man's last name.
Literally, these are the words. The product of the union, the marriage license, belongs to the state.
Did I say illegal? Yes, I did.
It's Wile E. Coyote, blow up in your face, convolutedly stupid.
So it goes to what you were saying about kids being owned by, it was a question to a Texas state official.
Texas has a horror house in it.
Lord have mercy on our souls.
And when I say children being owned or kids being owned, we're talking about
Me not just a pretty teen honky-tonk cowboys.
Oh no.
And so you look at the element of what a birth certificate is, and what I'm going to say is going to sound conspiratorial, and I will take anybody on publicly and just bring them straight to the facts and law that would substantiate what I'm about to say about birth certificates. And I've said this quite a few times, but literally words mean something. It's not to be forsaken. You can't look at a word and say it doesn't mean something.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's your Black Law's dictionary that says driving isn't turning a wheel and pushing pedals. It's sailing your land boat across Route 66 and buy my gold. Fuck your IRAs and your bank accounts and whatnot and invest it in gold, in my gold, so you don't have to get any of that interest stuff. And your kids don't need them licenses and insurance. We don't give two fucks about them if they crash. You know, hey, look, dude, I don't have to pay child support. Fuck it, I signed a paper that said I don't have to do it. See, it's that easy.
Like the word matrimony versus marriage, there's two different meanings. The word state lowercase versus state capitalized, two different meanings.
I'll never get why these idiots are obsessed with the capitalization of words. Oh, if it's state in all caps, it means something different than when it's in lowercase.
And I'm saying something in accordance to Black's law. There's multiple definitions for the same words a lot of different times.
Oh shit, your genius is so apparent because nobody over like a 4th grade level ever knew that words had multiple definitions.
I'm a man, but they've converted that in law to artificial person or person. And you will not find, listen to me, under...
Check out the look on Karmel's face. He literally puts it in his palm.
Any code, statute, ordinances, them talking about a man or a woman. It's because corporation, whether United States or whether the county of Orange, which used to be called Orange County.
Oh, God, this guy is so dumb. Laws, codes, ordinance are gender neutral because they apply to everyone equally. If you're looking to bitch about something, dude, complain about how females get cheaper car insurance and how when you sued this welfare recipient for custody of your own child, the court awarded it to her anyway. You know, that obviously never happened.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Or whether the Fullerton municipality versus the city of Fullerton, which is what it used to be called, Fullerton municipality.
What the hell did he say?
Same as usual, not damn thing.
Ooh, I love to dance a little sidestep.
Or Huntington versus the city of Huntington Beach. There's always a de jure equivalent that we used to be, and a de facto corporation which took over at some point in history.
Now they see me, now they don't have come and gone.
The term cisgender.
Right.
Do you know what cisgender means?
Yeah.
Since when? When did all of a sudden
I'm just saying that's what they want us to call ourselves as cisgender.
Wait a minute. Don't be giving me terms because every time when I first started hearing
you're a cisgender. No, I'm not a cisgender. What is that? I'm XY. I'm a man. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
It's always the self-proclaimed manly men whose feels are as precious and fragile as a Fabergé egg.
Don't be giving me terms because every time when I first started hearing
you're a cisgender. No, I'm not a cisgender. What is that? I'm XY. I'm a man. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. You know, I don't know if you've realized that, and you need to look at me twice. But it's pretty apparent that I'm wearing a AR-15 black shirt, and
right.
I don't pass by the gym without walking in it. You know, it's called man. If somebody's going to come after my lady, I'm going to deal with that on the spot.
Right.
It's going to be brutal.
I think Kelby got his definition of a man from Black Law's dictionary. Picture this guy's brittle ego when he meets a woman who wears a t-shirt, likes to hit the gym, and can hold her own in a fight. Also, I'm not even sure he's a fighter. I'm getting those insecure bully vibes, acting tough in front of his buddies in an attempt to unjustly assert himself as a leader. Kelby is the guy who backs down from a fight that he tries to start, and he wants to talk about it with you, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't scared, but I hurt my elbow in a fighting accident.
And whether it's the city or the county or the state, they were all taken over. And just like the corporation took over the United States of America in the mid-1700s, completely took over, where they stopped electing on a de jure lawful capacity
Du jour.
under the Constitution and started electing for corporate positions. And I can lay it out for people, and there's a lot of people out there that,
if you thought that was some incoherent babbling, brace yourself. Karmel's about to overtake Kelby on the outside lane of turn 4.
It's like, oh, Bin Laden, oh, freaking Saddam Hussein, and like it's neither one of those guys, right? It's these guys who have tons of money in these buildings that dropped them. You had no idea. Like, you thought it was these two Arab guys who are sitting in the freaking middle of nowhere. How are they able to do all this stuff from some freaking hole in the Sudan, right?
Go back to the forest, predator!
I'm from the savannah.
But then Trump is obviously got some enemies, right? And the people who are attacking him and the people who are putting up all the news, if it's on the news, there's people who are in control of the media that may not like what Trump's been trying to do or Trump has done.
It's a crazy, beautiful, diverse city where we celebrate our differences.
Tangential to that, Trump's been in the media for a long time, right? He's been a notable figure since I've been a kid, right?
Right.
Jesus Christ!
I learned about Trump in my preteens reading Playboy magazine. It's weird no one's ever talked about this before, but Trump never missed a party. New Year's, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I thought he was the coolest dude ever, but then I found out he's a scumbag, a terrible human, a megalomaniac, narcissist man-baby, whose art of the deal can be summed up as being born rich, having no moral compass, and playing the perpetual victim card.
Everybody! Party's over! Max fucked it up for everybody, so let's just go home!
Right.
But if he's an agent that's actually going against the grain and against the people, and he has the power to do so, it wouldn't surprise me that all this stuff has happened. I keep showing you, oh, Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that, because you want to believe that he's actually a villain, but he might not be. So it's hard to say. I think I watched all the Matrix movies in a row one weekend.
This weekend?
Not this weekend, just recently. It's very telling.
I wonder if Karmel picked up on the trans allegory the former Wachowski brother was talking about. Also, hard solipsism, seriously? All of reality is just your brain in a vat and you're being plugged in signals. But why not? Let's talk about it with your friend Kelby and see what he has to say about it.
Very telling. Very telling. I mean,
you know, we got to just get some popcorn and just watch, then pause and just give our thoughts.
Yes, 100%. Because now, knowing what I know, seeing what I see, going back and watching these movies.
Everybody falls the first time.
Because now, knowing what I know, seeing what I see, going back and watching these movies, even E.T., Terminator, Equilibrium.
Of course, I've seen all of those movies, and Equilibrium was okay. It has this stupid idea where if you're in the middle of a dark room being rushed from all sides and you line dance with your sidearm somehow, you can eliminate all the targets.
Well, Christian Bale, he's a part of the problem. My personal opinion.
But why?
Well, Christian Bale, he's a part of the problem. My personal opinion.
But why are these people?
Look at the name you picked.
What's that?
Look at the name you picked to be an actor.
Christian Bale.
Anyway, go ahead.
Let's roll another joint.
I guess it's possible that Christian's mom and dad gave him a stage name. I mean, why is it that this idiot can't get anything right? I mean, absolutely nothing at all. Everything he says is dumb and wrong.
Listen, brother, I don't want to talk about trans men forever because, it's making me butter up all over the place. You got to admit, Karmel, what does it take to go from this to a woman? You got to admit that is quite a feat. The hormone blockers, the hormones, the shaving, the surgeries. the weight loss. I could not eat.
If I've got to take hormones, if I got to cut myself, if I got to inject and rearrange things,
you're not a man.
You're not a man.
You're not a man.
It's amazing. Beta!
Meaning
you're not a woman. You're not. If you got to shift yourself from one to the other, so let me also go back to this. There's probably a very, very, very small percentage of the population that when I see a certain girl or a man, I could say, okay. You've seen a guy, you're like, yes. Or you grew up with someone that was kind of very feminine, maybe a girl who looked very masculine, and could understand if they said, I feel more like a boy than I do a girl. I could probably count, on one side of my hand.
We could sit here and talk about that stupidity for an hour. These idiots judge everyone by their cover, and one of the most effeminate men I ever known, straight up flamer, had the nickname Pussy Slayer. Dude's as straight or cis as they come, and all of the alpha idiots were jealous of him, and they went against their own interests, going around telling all the girls that he was gay. These idiots, they'll never learn.
Having seen that person, and now we're having a whole generation of people saying this, but then you got to take all these drugs and do all this surgery to make it happen.
And Lord, the abusers do and must face judgment. But Lord, find good parents or healed parents or forgiven parents. But parents that love these kids, just surround these children with love right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And a dog barking in my house. I don't have a dog.
Yeah, that's about all I got. This is the longest video I've ever made. It's going to be a nightmare to even try to upload it in the lowest quality definition from my fucking phone. This shit just blows my mind. I really don't know what to think about this idiot, his friends, their gold peddling, child support, deadbeat fathers, all that shit. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do the like and subscribe thing. Help me out.
Let's talk about Chinese people with their kung fu and all that silly chang chang chong talk. I can't understand you. Go back to your country, white power.